Members of this August Chamber, I rise today, Madam President. Members of this August Chamber, I rise today to mark a date that for many Filipinos will never be forgotten. Nagkataon rin po, exactly today, 1 year na po, no? March 11, 2025. Last year, on this very same day, was one of the saddest days in our history. It was a day when emotions ran high across our country, a day when millions watched in disbelief as former President Rodrigo Duterte was taken and brought in The Hague. Nakakalungkot po na alalahanin ang mga nangyari sa ating mahal na dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte na nagsakripisyo at ibinigay ang lahat ng kanyang makakaya ayon sa batas, bunsod ng kanyang labis na pagmamahal sa ating mga kababayan, lalo na sa mga mahirap at ordinaryong Pilipino. Mr. President, for many of us, it was more than a headline. It was more than a political issue. It was a moment that stirred memories and deep questions about our history as Filipinos. For in that moment, we saw not just a former president, but a man who once carried the mandate of millions, a man who rose from his humble beginnings in Davao City and stood at the helm of this country. It is true, Mr. President, that there are moments that divide our opinions but unite our emotions. March 11 was one of those moments. Across homes, communities, and provinces, countless Filipino witnessed how someone they once entrusted with the highest office of the land was made to face prosecution and judgment far from his real home. Akalain ninyo, Mr. President, isang taon na pala ang lumipas. Ngunit parang kahapon lamang nangyari ang lahat sapagkat ngayong araw na to, hanggang ngayon po, ay ang kalungkutan at pangungulila ay nananatili pa rin sa puso ng marami nating mga kababayan. 1 year has passed, yet the emotions remain as vivid as ever. The pain, the questions, and the sense of loss are still felt by many Filipinos who remember that moment not merely as a political event, but as a deeply personal chapter in their lives. That is why, Mr. President, in times like this, we must pause and reflect on principles that go beyond personalities and politics. We must ensure that what happened to former President Duterte should never happen again to anyone. No Filipino, regardless of position, influence, or political affiliation, should ever feel that the legal processes meant to protect our people can be set aside or disregarded. Siguraduhin natin na hindi na maulit sa kahit sino man ang pagsasantabi ng mga legal na proseso. This issue is greater than any of us or any personality. What is at stake here is our sovereignty and judicial independence as a sovereign nation and the dignity of every Filipino. Kung ang isang dating Pangulo ng ating bansa ay maaring tratuhin ng ganito, paano na lang po ang ordinaryong Pilipino? Nakakalungkot po, matanda na si Tatay Digong. In fact, yung picture na lumabas dyan na merong oxygen concentrator, totoo po yun. Panahon ng pandemya, bit-bit niya to parate kahit saan siya nag-travel. Alam naman natin na matapang siya at matatag siya, pero kitang-kita ko na rin ang kanyang iniinda. 71 years old na po siya ngayong March 28. At fragile na po siya. At maaaring 81 na po siya. 81 years old na po siya sa March 28. Kumbaga harmless at fragile na po si Tatay Digong. Hindi na siya dapat ipinilit ilayo sa bansa. Hirap na po siyang maglakad. Nakasungkod na nga po siya. Maski pagtali ng sariling sintas, hindi na niya maabot. Lahat naman tayo ay tumatanda. Lahat tayo ay may minamahal na lolo, lola at tatay at mga kaibigang may edad na. Dapat po alagaan na lang po sila rito. Ang sakit na makita na yung taong binigay ang lahat para sa atin, ngayon ay mag-isa sa isang kwarto sa banyagang bansa. Sana muling magkaisa ang mga Pilipino. Sana matuldukan na ang pagkawatak-watak nating mga Pilipino. Imbis na umunlad, bigla tayong umurong. OFWs nga, pinapauwi natin. Noong panahon ni dating Pangulong Duterte, yung iba nagre-raise po ng funds para pambigay po doon sa blood money, no? Na para mapauwi lang po yung ating mga kababayang OFWs. Yun po yung ginagawa namin noon, na ginagawan po ng paraan na makauwi dito yung mga kababayan nating Pilipino. Pero baliktad po ang nangyari kay Tatay Digong. Bakit natin isinuko ang sariling nating lahi? Pilipino rin po si Tatay Digong. Hindi dapat siya pinamimigay sa dayuhan. Mr. President, ang bawat Pilipino, mataas o mababa man ang katayuan sa buhay, saan man sa mundo, dapat may gobyernong masasandalan na hindi siya pababayaan. Former president man o hindi, karapatan yan, lalo na po pagdating sa kanyang kalusugan, kaligtasan at buhay. Mr. President, the world today is full of wars, bombings, and mass killings. Walang kasiguraduhan ang bukas para sa lahat. We will never know what will happen tomorrow, and in times like this, let us take it as a call for Filipinos to come together. Let us stand as one, no matter our status, our color, or our political beliefs. Siguraduhin natin na ang bawat Pilipino, anuman ang kanyang estado, kulay at paniniwala o kinabibilangan sa politika, ay protektado at nirerespeto po ng estado. And today, wherever history ultimately places our former President Duterte, one thing remains undeniable. He became a defining figure in the lives of millions of Filipinos. Finally, Mr. President, I humbly ask for everyone's prayers for former President Rodrigo Duterte, prayers for his health, his safety, and his well-being. May he be protected, guided, and keep strong as he faces the days ahead. Maraming salamat po, Mr. President.